end the half.
Oh, just an incredible shot just past the timeline there on the far side. Caught all net, just an incredible shot, and gave the Warriors a 2-point lead going into the half, and I'm sure that's going to help the momentum in the second half here.
Why don't you run down the first half stats for us, Jason?
Okay, field goal percentages for the Warriors. They're down considerably from Northern State. The Warriors shooting at 39% from the field, while the Wolves are at 59%. Free throws definitely in the Warriors' favor. The Warriors shooting at 91% from the line, and the Wolves 67%.
Just an inversion of last night, where the Warriors were shooting somewhere in the neighborhood of 65% on the field, and free throws were only around the 50% mark. Tonight, just the opposite. They're having trouble hitting their field goal shots, but their free throws right up there at 91%.
Exactly, and then of course we have the three-pointers. Northern not yet hitting the three-pointer. They're 0 for 2, and the Warriors are 2 of, including that spectacular last-second three-point shot from the mid-court line there at the buzzer by Darren Miller. So
Northern State with only 2 attempts. They obviously don't try the three-pointer all that often. The Warriors, just as in their game against Morris last night, they're not scared to throw up the three-pointer at all. The only catch being they're not being as successful as they were last night. Last night, an incredible percentage of around 60-70%. Tonight, they're only 2 of 7.
Well, the first half going to show that Northern does have at times they have a nice inside game. Grimes, they're effective in the first half underneath.
Grimes being one of their main men, both defensively and offensively. Let's take a look now at the scoring leaders. You see Grimes on the list there.
Keith Moore there, 12 points. That's a game high, game lead. And Sarge Grimes there with 9, and very nice stuff there, good for a couple of points. He's been impressive, a couple nifty moves to the stuff, and a nice move right underneath. The Warriors scoring leaders, Carter Glad, as usual, with 11 points. He leads the Warriors, and Darren Miller right behind him with 9 points so far.
2 big men for the team, Carter Glad and Darren Miller. Not surprised to see their names at all. Maybe the only surprise for Northern is that Keith Moore, we haven't heard a little more from him. I got a feeling we're going to hear more from him in the second half.
He's a quick one. They told us at the start of the game to watch out for Moore.
And as we start the second half of action, I'll take over the play-by-play. Tim Walton over to Glad. Glad with a 2-pointer, and he gets it. Carter Glad extends the Warrior lead to 5.
Carter wasting no time there, getting back on track there. 4-point lead now for the Warriors.
Grimes with the turnaround, no goal. Rebound by Jason Boyk, and he comes up with a 2-point. Makes it 40-36 here with 30 seconds into the second half of play. We have the starting lineups back in there for both teams here to start off the second half. And there Carter Glad's really finding his mark as he hits another one. That one from 3-point range, 43-38 now.
I tell you, Carter Glad finding his open shot there, and he will take it. He's very effective from the outside.
When he gets hot, watch out. And Carter Glad's looking hot to start off the half. Let's see if it continues. More drives. Layup off the front of the rim. Grimes comes up with the rebound, brings it back out. Moore. Over to Peets, and Peets can't hold on to it, and he loses the ball. A mental lapse there as he tried to one-hand it. Didn't work. Out of bounds. Darren Miller inbounds it. Walton with the ball. Carter Glad looking to shoot again. Now he passes off to Miller at the point. Miller around to the right side, and then he takes the shot. No goal. And no call by the official. As they're going to say Warriors knocked it out of bounds and Northern State gets it. Walton didn't like the call at all.
Head coach Bob Olson of the Wolves very upset.
Grimes drives, now he passes off to Moore. Moore makes the 2-point attempt and can't do it. And then a nice block by Carter Glad on the shot, but he's going to pick up the foul for it. A judicious foul there, though, as that would have been an easy shot had he gone up with it. This will bring him to the line with a 2-shot shooting foul. Bob Liddell. Liddell's first appearance at the line. And he hits his first one. 43-39 now with 18:27 in the second half to go. He makes both of them. Holds the Wolves within 3 points.
Not too many turnovers so far in this game. I think that one turnover just a couple minutes ago, our first one.
Carter Glad, no good on the three-pointer, but gets his own rebound. Manages to keep it inbound nicely. And over to English, and English can't get in either. Couple of opportunities for the Warriors, but no good. Moore for 3 points in front of the rim. Darren Miller with the rebound. Still 43-40 as we go underneath 18 minutes left in the ball game.
Tremendous back effort here on the part of both teams. Carter Glad, they're throwing his body away to keep the ball in bounds.
Lang tried to drive, now he brings it out to Miller. Miller drives now, looks for the shot. Now he passes it out to English, who takes the shot from about 20 feet and hits it. 38-40, with that the Warriors 8-point lead.
6 points in the game so far for Dan English. He found his open shot and he took it.
5-point lead, 45 feet, as the scorer having two problems scored tonight. Now a 3-point lead is Moore for the three-pointer, 45-43 now. Draws him within 2, Moore up to 15 points as he's getting hot here in the second half, along with Glad for the Warriors.
We're waiting for Moore to break out of his shell, and he's starting to right here in the second half.
Yeah, we said at the start of this half we're going to hear more from Moore. Boy, he didn't waste any time proving us right. Dan English underneath, and he's going to draw a foul.
English wanted that roll. Wanted that roll so he can make it a three-point play. It didn't get it. Instead, he'll go to the line and shoot two. Liddell drew the foul.
English's first appearance at the line. For the season, Dan is 21 of 27, 78%, not bad.
English shooting 2.
You saw the replay of the foul. No good on the first attempt. Clock stopped at 17:02. Warriors with a 2-point lead. Second shot could make it a 3-point lead. It does.
First 1 of 2 free throws.
7 points so far for English on the night. 3 of 4 from the line tonight.
With the ball, trying to get it inside. Way by King. The Northern's going to retain possession.
The Warriors are going to be aggressive defense there. Tipping away to the pass.
Number 41 for the Wolves entered the game, and he threw that in pass. Nice play. Garrett Miller with a play. Point lead. Defense by the Warriors there, Jason.
Good defense. Miller with the stealing for the 2. I think he was hoping to draw the foul on it.
There's a shot for 2 points. Number 35 for the Wolves, Liddell. And that brings them back to within 3 as we approach the 16-20 mark left in the game. Walton brings it on down. Walton looking for someone to pass to, finally gets it over to Miller. Crowd wanted a foul, nothing by the official, but the feed inside to Lang, and Lang goes up for 2.
It's 5 for Lang tonight.
Back to a 5-point margin for the Warriors. 5 points is the largest lead the Warriors have measured. They've had it 3 times now tonight. And back to a 3-point ball game by the shot there by Bell. Tim Walton walks it down. Walton wants to do it himself and does. A nice underhand layup.
6 points for Walton. He created that play there. Couldn't find the open man. Everyone's covered as the Wolves playing good defense.
That's exactly right, Jason. Everyone was covered, so Walton took it in himself. And there's Moore with yet another 3-pointer. Brings them within 2 as we approach the 15-minute mark left in the game. They're going to have to start hawking Moore at that 3-point line as he's made what now? 18 points for Moore.
Carter Glad following up on his own shot there with the rebound. It looked like he got fouled as he was going up. The refs didn't call it, however.
Moore's 2 of 3 on those 3-pointers. Moore has the ball, looking at it again. Now he passes it back out to point. Peets with the ball. Liddell, he's hot also as he hits once again, bringing it back to a 2-point ball game in favor of the Warriors.
14 points for Liddell so far in the game. Liddell breaks in the double figures.
Walton with a nice job of dribbling, hands it off to Lang underneath. Lang with the 2 points.
7 for Lang.
Assist by
56-52.
Walton.
And almost a three-pointer. They'll call it too, as Liddell is, as we say, getting hot as well. Liddell now with 16 points. Most of them coming here in this first little over 6 minutes of action here in the first half, the second half rather. Boy, the action getting fast and furious here in the second half. Lots of points being scored after a much slower in comparison first half, Jason.
Yeah, exactly right, Al. Back and forth still. As the game progresses more, he's getting very hot. He's got 18 points so far in the game, as does Carter Glad of the Warriors. So Warriors still matching up very well in a very tightly contested game here, 56-54, 13-53 to go.
And as we just mentioned, Liddell has 16 points as he's gotten hot here along with Moore and Glad as well. Also in double digits is Miller with 11 points. Darren Miller for the Warriors, who's going to inbound us and resume action here. He gives it to Walton, who'll bring it down court. Carter Glad, turn around, he makes the shot! Three-pointer for Carter Glad.
Not wasting any time, Walton with the feed over to Glad just outside the three-point line, in for the swish.
And Rozell's back in the game, and he gets 2 points.
Roselle assists.
I tell you, it's a real battle underneath the boards there, Al.
Sure is, 59-56. Walton over to Miller. Miller to Glad with another three-point on the nylon. 62-56 now for the Warriors. As we're seeing some scores getting hot now. Glad up to 24 points.
Glad is 3 for 4 from the three-point range. Incredible game so far for Carter Glad.
And Roselle with another basket makes it 62-58. Everyone getting hot all at once here.
Tell you, Roselle, that's his 4 points, I should say, for Roselle so far in the game. Everyone getting to the act right here.
And Glad loses the ball.
Peets with the steal.
Peets comes up with a steal and brings it down court. Now he passes to Roselle.
Blocking foul there on Carter Glad.
On Liddell, and Sarge is coming back in now. Grimes getting a little bit of a rest. He's back in the game now.
Here's second.
Dave Brush in for the Warriors.
Brush now playing for the Warriors.
As Peets gets ready to inbound it.
Northern lineup.
Moore from three-point land. Nothing but net for him as well. And that brings them into 1 point. 62-61 in favor of the Warriors. A 1-point ball game.
21 points now for Moore. He's 3 of 4 from the half from the three-point range.
Darren Miller drives, takes the shot from about 15 feet. Air ball, nicely kept in bounds by Brush. And then Moore comes up with it and fouled by Walton.
Nice effort there by Dave Brush, trying to keep the ball in with Walton with the foul.
Third foul on Walton.
No argument from Walton either.
That's his third of the game. Third team foul of the half.
Roselle gives it to Moore. Over to Peets. And Roselle with the shot, no go. Moore with the rebound, takes a high angle shot and can't make it as he was behind the backboard. And Miller comes up with the rebound for the Warriors. Laying back to Miller. Miller drives wide open into the lane, scores a layup. Back to a 4-point ball game for the Warriors.
Easy 2 points for Miller. He came in there uncontested. That's his 13th point of the game.
Liddell once again from the side. He hits it at about 12 feet. Brings them back to within 1 point, 64-63. 11-12 and counting left to go in the ball game.
Liddell making some noise himself, 18 points.
Walton Glad from three-point land, no go this time for Carter. And Moore comes up with an attempted steal by Miller, almost had it, but Moore calls the timeout.
Warriors lead 64.
And they'll regroup.
63. Brown
Good
will be
ball game,
reentering the
Jason.
Warrior lineup as
Excellent
we
ball
come to
game.
the
1 point
play,
game here,
along with
64 to
two teams.
63.
Dave and I touched on it last night, but it seems like Marcus Communications Studio 6 has a magic touch. This is our fourth basketball game, and each one of them has gone down to the wire. It's starting to look like we're going to see it again tonight. Once again, let's recap them. We go into overtime with Lake City, and Lake City pulls off the victory with 5 seconds left in the ball game. And then our next Cotter game against Byron, Cotter pulls it off with under 5 seconds left at the end of the game. Last night in Morris, it goes into overtime. And now tonight, a 1-point ball game with 10:53 left to go. And while we've got this timeout, let's talk about some of our programming here on Marcus Communications Studio 6. You take a look at the Warrior coaches. The Talk of Winona, you can watch Monday nights. It's a show where we laugh, learn, and love the local talent, and we have some fun on there. It's live Mondays at 6:30 p.m., replayed Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by yours truly, and the lovely Becky Evenson is there to join me as our announcer. We're back to action. Jay Smith back in the game for Northern following the timeout. Roselle still in there as Grimes underneath. Foul going to be called on Brush, I believe. Let's make that, yeah, Dave Brush. And a shooting foul is going to send Grimes to the line. Grimes, I believe, is 1 of 2 tonight from the free throw line.
Fourth team. Grimes, 2 shots.
1 for 2 tonight. Chance to tie the ball game, and he does. 64 all, a brand new ball game with the clock stopped at 10:38. Grimes for the lead. Let's watch. Northern regains the lead after trailing ever since halftime. As Grimes hits on both of them, he's 2 of 3 now on the night.
11 points for Grimes. He's racking up some numbers as he enters double digits.
Dave Brush drives, and a great defensive play by Grimes prevents the basket. Northern with a chance to extend their lead. What a defensive play by Grimes underneath.
I tell you, we've seen some plays from him tonight. All kinds of stuff. Grimes can do it all.
Grimes with a bank, can't get it, but he gets his own rebound and puts it in, and a 3-point lead for Northern now. Grimes putting on a one-man show in the last minute of play.
Looked like he wanted to make a stuff out of that one, but he opted more for the layup.
Ups his point total to 13. 4 points in the last about 20 seconds of action. Walton looking to make it close again. Over to Glad. Glad drives. Glad puts it up. Can't get it over the lip of the rim. And Morris now with a chance to pull away here. Keith Moore brings it down for the Wolves. And a nice tip there by the Warriors, but they're going to lose it.
And English
As Tom Brown almost had the takeaway. Darren Miller was coming over to the scorer's table to check into the game and kind of got in his way on the sideline here.
Nice effort though by Brown, just couldn't get enough of a handle on it as many of the Warrior regulars coming back in the game.
Beats over to Roselle. Roselle wants it back out. And now Moore from 3-point range. Can't do it. And the foul is going to be called on Grimes as both he and English went up for the rebound. English had the position and a good call by the ref.
Grimes just coming out of Dan English's arm there.
Foul now. Second team foul will take it for the Warriors. As opposed to 14 fouls for the Warriors. English over to Miller with a long pass inside to Lang. Lang can't get a shot, so brings it back outside. Lang to Miller. Miller drives, puts up the shot, no good. Grimes with the rebound as he out-jumps everyone. 2 Warriors underneath the basket, Lang and Miller, and neither of them out-leap the tall Grimes.
Hey, Grimes' elbows were flying over there. I think the fans wanted a foul.
Moore, with his quickness, drives, but he can't make the shot. Tip doesn't go either, and the Warriors come up with it. Lang with the rebound. Miller's going to walk it on down. Tom Brown.
The game getting very physical underneath there.
Underneath to Miller. Miller can't get the shot. Over to Lang, and Lang does get the shot and the basket. Back to a 1-point ball game. Northern in the lead, 67-66, as we approach the 8-minute mark left in the game.
Say the first Winona State Warrior points there in quite a while. Tim Lang delivers. He's got 9 on the night.
Roselle passing it all over. Cougars looking for a good shot. Slowing down the pace of the game considerably here. Roselle being hawked, backs out. And there the foul is called as the ref walks in and calls it on Grimes again. And the crowd was calling it about 10 seconds before the ref did. The crowd really into this ball game.
I don't think this crowd likes Grimes too well. Neither does the players. Danny English very pumped up with the calling of that foul.
As the ball is going to go over to Winona State, Miller gives it to Brown. Back to Miller, who'll walk it down. Chance for the Warriors to go back up on top. They trail by 1. English, wide open, 15 feet, hits it. 68-67, 7:25 left.
That's 9 for English. Couldn't come at a better time, gives them a 1-point lead.
Warriors doing a good job in the second half of spreading around the wealth of points. As the attempt no good, the foul called on Brown, and he doesn't like it, but called nonetheless. That's going to be the 5th team foul for Winona as opposed to 3 for Northern. It's a shooting foul, so coming to the line is number 55 for Northern. Jason Boyk, 6'7" junior from Maynard, Minnesota. First appearance at the line, he makes the first one. Tied up ball game, 7:16 left.
9 points so far for Boyk. We haven't heard much from the 6'7" center for quite a while.
He makes the second one and gives Northern the lead back, 69-68. Boyk now with 10 points as he enters in double digits. Tom Brown brings it down for the Warriors. Still in the game, seeing a lot of action here in the second half. Lang with a screen. Tom Brown still couldn't get the shot open though. Lang drives, passes back out to Brown. Now Miller into English. And travel is going to be called there. And number 40 for the Warriors is checked in, and I don't have that number on my roster.
Patrick Hayes, a freshman from Waterloo, Iowa. 6'5" forward.
Thank you, that one isn't on mine. And the miss by Northern with the rebound, Patrick Hayes.
Freshman getting some playing time in a close game here.
Hayes, a tall man, 6'5". He's got the ball underneath. Couldn't get a shot, tried to pass it out, but Moore comes up with the steal. And Moore with a dribble behind his back. Now he brings it back out. Shot no good by Bob Liddell. He was hot earlier in the half, now he's gone cold. Still a 1-point lead for Northern. Hayes tries to get it inside to English, tip, but English comes up with it and hits the basket. Warriors regain the lead, 70-69, 5:55 left to go in the ball game.
That's 11 points for English.
A lot of players in double digits now for the Warriors, Jason.
The Wolves have 4 players in double digits if you speak.
Jason Boyk wide open underneath the basket, couldn't get it in. Warriors with a chance to extend their 1-point lead now. Darren Miller wants to drive, falls down, keeps the ball. It's going to be a jump. And the Warriors, they get the alternate possession. 4 Wolves are in double digits. 3 Winona State University Warrior player in double digits. Let's run it down, Jason.
Carter Glenn right now 24 points. Miller has 13. Danny English 11 points so far in the evening. Keith Moore 21 points leading the Wolves. Lydell is right up there with 18, followed by Sarge Grimes at 13. And Boyk rounding out the 4 with 10 points so far in the night.
Northern with the ball. They trail by 1.
Kinchy in the game now for the Warriors with some added height.
Gets it inside, and the foul is going to be called on Winona State. Dan English with it. Sixth team foul for the Warriors. One more is going to put the bonus situation in. Jay Smith inbounds it to Moore. Moore, about 18 feet, hits it. And that gives Northern the 1 point lead as we hit the 5-minute mark left in the game. Moore now with 23 points. Haven't heard much from Glad. He hits the ball there. Looking for someone to pass through. Now he's going to take the shot and hits it with nothing but nylon. And that's going to give the Warriors the lead, 74 to 71.
That's a three-pointer for Carter Glad.
It's only a 2 point.
27.
They bring it back 73-71. As they only give him the 2-pointer. And now a foul being called.
Fans to please remain. Don't interfere with the ball game.
Some of the fans over on the near side of the court
The ball game.
coming almost onto the court.
To not get off
Asking him to sit down. Could be a technical foul if that type of activity continues.
Interfering with the play.
Athletic Director Dwight Marston over there to cool down the fans. A little overzealous.
Dwight Marston, WSU men's athletic director and a very nice gentleman.
Walton now entering
We
the Warrior
appreciate the
lineup.
help he gave us getting us in here to Epic Gym so we could bring you both these games. Last night's Morris contest, tonight against the Northern State College Wolves. Here's the replay here. That's Carter Glad with the ball. Shoots it up, and yes, he was inside 3-point range. Only a 2-pointer, but it does give the Warriors a 2-point lead, 73-71. Clock stopped with a timeout at 4:34.
It could cost the team.
Warriors get the ball back now. As the fans giving Dan English a pat, and Dwight Marston keeping a close eye on to make sure they cross the line and go onto the court.
Winona has a long history of sports fans that maintain proper attitudes during play.
Well, we said the crowd was into it. They might be getting a little bit too much into it now, Jason.
They just recently switched the games from McCown to Talbot Gymnasium, and it's made quite a difference. The crowd very much into it as compared to past games at McCown.
Jay Smith with the shot, and he hits it.
Basket by Smith.
From about 20 feet, he ties the ball game at 73 each.
That's Smith's first 2 points.
Carter Glad for 3, doesn't get the roll. Rebound Roselle for the Wolves. Moore brings it down, looking for the lead as we approach the 4-minute mark left in the game.
Still a battle underneath.
And just from inside 3-point range is Jay Smith, and he can't hit 2 in a row. Ball game remains tied.
Tell you, they're fighting for the rebounds there. Darren Miller had to fight off Moore to get that last rebound.
Barn burner time once again. 3:40 and counting left in the ball game. It's tied up. Darren Miller to English. Dan English over to Glad. Glad at the top of the key. Glad looking for someone to pass to. Gets it over to Miller on the right wing. English at the top of the key now. He drives, puts up the shot, and hits it with nothing but nylon. A 2-point ball game and for the Warriors now.
Pulled by English. Couldn't find the open man. He just went in himself.
Roselle over to Moore. Moore to Smith at the top of the key. Back to Roselle.
Speaking of Dan English, he's made his last 4 field goals.
And an easy layup missed by Peets. As Carter Glad went for the steal, left Peets wide open with a drive, and Peets just missed the layup. The Warriors with a chance to extend their lead. Carter Glad, no, but the foul's going to be called on Peets, and Carter Glad, I think it was a shooting foul, is going to take the line. Yes, that's what he's going to do. So with a 2-point lead, a chance for Carter Glad to extend that lead. No, not a shooting foul. Now Darren Miller going to throw it in. And he gets it to English, and English can't hit it. I think Northern wasn't ready. And a chance for 2 points wasted there.
Well, Dan English very hot of late. Now that makes him 4 of his last 5. 4 of his last field goal attempts have been good.
Jay Smith from the top of the key, no good. Both teams getting pulled now from the floor. The Warriors still in the lead by 2 as Walton with the ball down in his own front court. Double dribble. going to lose the ball.
Liddell.
Back over to Northern with a chance to tie with a 2-point basket.
So yeah, Al, I may stand corrected, but I think that's our only second turnover. As I try to spit it out here, our second turnover of the game. Very well-played ball game tonight.
You betcha. The mental mistakes late in the game is going to hurt you. There was one there on the double dribble. The Warriors will have the lead, 75-73. When we resume action, clock stopped at 2:15, but Northern's going to have the ball. Once again, going down to the wire.
Cutter Glad still leading all scores with 27 points coming of late. Very hot Dan English. He has his point total up to 13 thus far in the game.
Let's take a look at the WSU coaching staff. Head coach Jerry Nauman, his assistants Mike Leaf and Kevin Kelly. Meanwhile, for the Northern State College Wolves, Bob Olson heads them up. His assistants Toff Jordy and Mark Aman. There you see him. Moore hands it over to Roselle to bring it down court. Northern trailing by 2. Inside to Grimes. Grimes puts it up, air ball. And the foul's going to be called on Northern. Winona State's going to get the ball. I don't think it was a foul. I take that back. They just lost the ball out of bounds. So costly mistake that time by Northern. A chance to at least tie the game, and they lose it.
Once again, very physical game underneath. The crowd getting into it.
The crowd getting loud as we approach the 1:45 mark left in the game. Walton, the Glad looking for someone to throw to. Tipped by Grimes. Jam time! Grimes puts it in. Ties the ball game. 75-0. 1:30 and counting.
Tell you, Sarge Grimes, he knows how to do it.
Darren Miller brings it down court. 15 points now for Grimes. Carter Glad's going to be fouled as he's shoved to the court there by Peets. Obvious foul. And that's going to be the 6th team foul. Doesn't put the Warriors in the bonus situation yet. Tim Walton going to inbound pass it. Clock stopped with 1:18.
Coach Bob Olson giving some instructions to Boyke here on the sidelines.
As it looks like a 20-second timeout. Crowd starting to chant, here we go Warriors.
Now entering the Northern lineup.
We're ready to resume action. Darren Miller, pass to Lane. Lane back to Miller. Miller drive underneath the basket, misses a layup. Grimes comes down with a rebound, and now Roselle brings it down court.
Nice move by Miller, just couldn't get the roll.
And now the foul will be called on Carter Glad, and that's going to put Northern in the bonus situation, and they'll go to the line.
Foul on Glad.
Moore going to shoot. I believe Moore's first appearance at the line tonight.
Third, 7-2.
I get that back. He's 1-2 at the line.
He's shooting 2 right now. Cutter Glad, that's his 3rd foul, 7th foul for the team.
Carter fouled out last night's game in overtime. Couldn't use him the entire game because he was in foul trouble most of the night. Moore gives Northern the lead, 76-75. 59 seconds left. It's the second one as well. A 2-point ball game in favor of Northern. 55 and counting. Tim Walton with the ball for Warriors.
Here goes the crowd now.
Laying over to Miller, almost a steal by Grimes. Couldn't quite get enough on it. 3 points for Carter. He hits, and the Warriors take the lead with 40 seconds. 78-77. Roselle brings it down.
30 points up for Carter Glad. We got 32 seconds left to go. It's going to come down to this.
Our shot clock's not working.
No clock.
But I'm sure they have enough time to run it out if they want to wait to take the last shot. Defense being chanted by the crowd. Let's let the crowd tell the story and watch the last 15 seconds. Foul call called, but once again, a very judicious foul as Grimes was for a second wide open underneath the basket, and Lane came in there to try to stop the shot. Does so, but got a piece of Grimes' arm, and with 9 seconds, our clock is stopped. Grimes with 2 shots, trying to tie the game or take the lead. It's good, a tie ball game. He's got another one now. He could take the lead. Timeout, Northern.
78-78.
I tell you, that's a very smart move on the part of Miller there. Grimes.
Both Lane and Miller going in for the underneath the basket. And as I said, a judicious foul. Grimes doesn't miss underneath the basket off.
Exactly right, Al. Very nice foul on the part of Darren Miller. Still 9 seconds left. The clock won't start until the Warriors inbound. So they still have some time to make it all the way to the other end of the court.
We still have a shot to go here. A free throw shot before we resume action. A tied up ball game, 9 seconds left. 78-78. Grimes at the free throw line. He's made his first one, going for the second one in the lead. No matter what happens, the Warriors are going to have one chance to win this ball game. 9 seconds to get it down court following the free throw attempt.
Here we go. There goes the crowd. They want to win here. We're tied at 78, 9 seconds left to go. I tell you, I haven't heard this much noise in a Winona State basketball game in a long, long time.
Last night and tonight, the crowds really get into the game. Warriors lost despite it last night. Let's see if they can come through tonight. Grimes for the lead. It's good, 79-78, 9 seconds. Clock hasn't started yet as the ref blows his whistles. Warriors going to have a chance to regroup and set this up a little better.
Here we go.
Walton, clock counting. Walton drives. Walton to English. English with a shot. Blocked by Grimes. Goes out of bounds with 2 seconds. Warriors still with possession. Just enough time to throw it in and shoot it. Timeout Northern. They're going to make them work for it. Oh boy, we can't get away from these barn burners, Jason. Every time we sit down to a basketball game, it goes down to the last second.
I tell you, you got a knack for picking these kind of games, Al. I don't know how you do it.
What a game tonight. The Warriors, if they should lose 2 by a heartbreaking margin, you really got to feel bad for them because they've just played some excellent basketball, both against Morris last night and Northern tonight. 2 seconds left. Northern State leads by 1, 79-78. The Warriors will have possession. You know who they're going to look for, Carter Glad, but you can bet he's going to be at least double teamed coming here, Jason. So we may see him go for Miller or someone else who's been hot for the Warriors.
I tell you, Dan English has been very hot in the second half. You can look for the Warriors to try to feed the ball to him, or as you said, to Carter Glad. This is it for all the marbles.
Tim Walton will throw the inbound pass. He won't be making the last shot.
Possibly over to Miller. No one's covered him here.
Miller's the open one.
And he calls another timeout. Tim Walton.
Tim Walton didn't like any of his options, so he calls a timeout so they can think about it again. Let's take a breath here. Let's talk about our next sportscast. Being as we've got 2 seconds left here in a timeout, we're going to be bringing you some more Warrior sports as we have the women's gymnastic team. They're playing Thursday, February 9th against the University of Wisconsin River Falls. You can watch it tape delayed on Marcus Communications Studio 6. Following 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, February 10th and 11th at 8 p.m. So we'll be able to see the WSU women gymnastics in action. But we still have a doozy of 2 seconds left here.
I tell you, we got a heck of a game. The people here are just loving it. Did you see the crowd there on the screen?
Unusual defensing by Northern. They're leaving Miller wide open.
I tell you, Miller's an excellent shot.
I wouldn't mind Miller being the one to take the last shot.
Miller's got just as good of a chance as Carter Glad or Danny English to make that final shot.
Miller with 13 points on the night. He takes 2 more before this ball game's over. 79-78, 2 seconds left. Dan Miller with a shot. No goal. And that's the ball game as the Warriors lose for the second time by a heartbreaking margin, 79-78. We're going to try to set up for an interview with Jerry Nauman, who has to be disappointed. His ball game plays 2 great ball games, Jason, and comes up short tonight.
I'll tell you, as Nauman set up for the game yesterday, he plays the number 2 to the conference at University of Minnesota. Takes it to overtime. He's got to be pleased. With taking the team of the caliber Morris takes it overtime. He's got to be happy. Getting down the wire. He's got to be happy with his team's play. He knows they're playing well.
You got to start calling the Warriors the hard luck kids because they're playing good ball. Can't come up with the win. Tonight, the main thing that hurt them was their field goal percentage. They improved in the second half, but they were 39% in the first half. And that's kind of the story as they had trouble finding the basket from the floor. Keith Hamburg is standing by with Coach Jerry Nauman. Let's go down to Coach Jerry Nauman and the interview right now. Keith?
Coach, what can you say about the game? It's obviously disappointing.
Well, sure, it's disappointing to lose a ball game by 1 point. I think one thing is we played last night, played an overtime game. We were not quite as sharp as I thought we could be, and I thought we gave one heck of an effort, much as what we could ask for. We had a couple shots there, couldn't get them in. We had one stretch where we made about 3 turnovers. The one where we missed a little layup, and the one where we had the turnover out in front. That probably cost us the ball game. Kids played hard, they played tough.
You think maybe the kids are tired? And double overtime game last night, and almost overtime. Really, the crowd was good, but they just come through 2 free throws at the end of the game. Just
I thought that we were just a little bit slow of foot. We didn't get through some of the picks like I thought we could have. We didn't rebound quite like I thought we could have. And I think, you know, it's got to have a little bit of effect when you play. Sure, the kids are in shape, but it's that idea, the competition, the emotion. Last night was a very, very emotional ball game. We got beat in overtime. We came back tonight. There's got to be a little bit of emotion and physical letdown. But, gee, I'm proud of the kids. I thought they gave us good effort. And, you know, we got beat. What can I say?
Why don't you talk a little bit about the offense and defense? You think the shot selection was good, and defense, was it good enough for you?
Well, obviously when you get beat, it isn't. But the shot selection, for the most part, I wasn't unhappy with. I thought maybe we forced a few, but you know, I'm not in a position to catch the ball and shoot the ball, and I guess I was more disappointed, and we didn't get very many offensive rebounds. That probably bothered me more than maybe the shot selection. Defensively, you know, we're once again, they had some pretty good guys in there. Grimes is all right, and we didn't have anybody to really offset him. They had number 1, the big kid, from the outside, and of course we know Moore's a good ball player.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it. You know, as I said, we were maybe a little step slow, but they were setting some pretty good picks, and you get beat. Obviously, the defense was a point or 2 points.
Now, emotionally, what can you tell the kids? You know, two disappointing losses like this. Mentally, it's got to be tough. How are you going to get them motivated from now? You know, it's got to be tough losses like this. What are you going to do next?
Well, they're athletes, and that's part of the game. It's not as difficult to get them back up on a game, 2 games like this against very good competition as it would be if they got blown out by somebody that was a nobody. You know, they'll come back. I know about that. We're going to go on the road. We're going to play Duluth. And, you know, that's going to be tough. Although Morris was able to play them, they was tied with a minute to go at Duluth. And we did play Duluth even ball game the second half, 39 points apiece. It'll be tough for us. Duluth once again is so aggressive defensively, and they're big and they're good. Bemidji's playing much better, I think, than they were when they were here.
Okay.
There again, we've beaten Bemidji twice this year, and that always makes it tough when you go to play in that third game, and particularly at their place. They got beat by Northern by 8 the other night, but they're going to be. It's going to be tough.
Okay.
You know, I guess if I come back to one point we were talking about defense, you know, we did a good job defense in that last series. Put down to where we shut off. We shut off Moore on the baseline, and he was able to dump inside. If he doesn't do it, the shot clock's running down.
Right.
You know, I thought we did a very good job, and Miller had to foul him. It's either that or give him. We'd rather have him take the 2 free throws and make the chance at it.
Yeah.
What can you say?
Okay, Coach, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Winona Sports Talk. Coach Jerry now, Dave, Jason, back to you.
Keith, why don't you face the camera there and talk for a second? No, not with the coach.
Okay.
I just want to talk to you.
Okay.
You've watched a lot of WSU baseball games before, Keith, and done the play-by-play for KQAL. You're the sports director there. What do you think about tonight's game? Your quick analysis.
Well, Al,
before we
I'm
leave.
still shaken from the loss because it's an emotional loss like me and Coach Sherry Nauman talked about. And it's sad to see. Last night they go into overtime and they play a tough ball game. Tonight they play, and you guys noticed, you guys watched the game, they were just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it just happened to come down to 2 free throws that Northern happened to make, and that was the decisive game, Al. It's really a disappointing loss for Winona State.
Especially coming off a disappointing loss to Northern. Thanks a lot, Keith. Let's go over the game statistics. Jason, why don't you go through them for us?
All right, as we look at the final stats there, the score tells it all, 79-78, a close one. The field goal percentages, the Wolves had a bit of an edge. They shot at 55%, while the Warriors of Winona State shot at 51%. Free throws, the Warriors were shooting at 91% at the half. They were down to 85%. And the Wolves really upped their free throw game as they were shooting somewhere around 39% at the half as they end up with 88%. Three-pointers, Winona State really taking their share of three-pointers as a strong outside game. They were 7 for 15, and Northern only 3 of 7. They didn't attempt really too many shots at all there.
I'll ask the statistician to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe all 3-pointers were made by Moore, Keith Moore, with all of the 3-pointers for Northern. That is correct. Let's take a look now, Jason. I'll let you do the honors once again at some of the scoring leaders. Let's start with the Wolves.
The Wolves, Keith Moore, as you just said, Al, led the Wolves with 25 points. Bob Liddell followed up with 18. Sarge Grimes, the big guy, came down with the rebound there to ice it. He had 17 points for the game. Over to the Warriors now. Carter Glad led all scorers with 3 points. Darren Miller finished with a strong 13. And as Dan English, he finished with 13 points. Dan was 4 of 5 field goals in the second half, so he came on real strong.
He came on strong, but once again a little short for the Warriors tonight as they upped their field goal percentage. They were, about 40% in the first half, got it up to a little over 50% by the end of the game, but they still come up 1 point short. The story this weekend being the Warriors just coming up short twice, playing a good ball game, and coming out on the losing end of a very close one. We go into overtime against Morris, where they lose. It goes down to the last 2 seconds. We can't make the basket. They lose by 1 point, 79-78. That's going to do it here from Talbot Gymnasium on the campus of Winona State University. I'm Al Light. Jason, I want to say you did a great job tonight. Because maybe able to give Dave Sauer his walking papers now.
I tell you, he's off the talk of Winona. Let's get him out of here. I can use another job.
No, we better not say that. Dave does a great job, and there's always a couple that are going to take me seriously. We wouldn't ever want to get rid of Dave. Anyway, we'd also like to thank our statisticians and spotters, Keith Hamburg, who also did a fine job with the interview and talking to us after the game, Linda Pulowski. For everyone else on the cast and crew here at Marcus Communications Studio 6, thanks for watching Warrior Basketball. We'll see you soon on Marcus Communications Studio 6. Good night, everyone.
Bye.